So there are 4 laws, that is 0th law, 1st law, 2nd law and 3rd law. Let's say A, B, C are 3 bodies and A and C are 2 bodies are in thermal equilibrium with each other, and B and C also in thermal equilibrium with each other. Then 0th law say A and B will also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. In other words, if 2 bodies are in thermal equilibrium with 3rd body separately, then these 2 bodies are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. And in thermal equilibrium we can measure temperature, and that is the basic philosophy which is used to make the thermometers.
Next is first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics state that energy can be converted from one form to another form with interaction of heat, work and internal energy. But it cannot be created nor be destroyed under any circumstances. Mathematically, it is represented by total change in internal energy is addition of heat exchange between system and its surrounding and work done by the system or on the system. According to first law, when system undergoes thermodynamic process, both heat and work transfer takes place. The net energy transfer is stored within the system, which is known as stored energy or total energy. This law do not clear about direction of flow of heat and work. Also not clear about how much percentage of energy converted into one form into another form. If car drive up hill, level of fuel in tank drop. If this process rework, that is car coasted down the hill, fuel consumed cannot be reproduced. Next is second law. In second law of thermodynamics, there are 2 statements, that is Kelvin-Planck statement and Clausius statement. Kelvin-Planck statement says there cannot be heat engine which is working with single thermal reservoir and producing work. There is only single thermal reservoir, that is source, from which I am taking heat Q1 and giving you work. This kind of engine cannot be engine as per Kelvin-Planck statement. If such machine exists, it is called perpetual motion of second kind. But as per Kelvin-Planck statement, it cannot be exist. If it is exist, then from first law of thermodynamics, what we understand is, and what is the efficiency, that is work produced over heat input, that is going to be 1. So now interpretation of Kelvin-Planck statement, the efficiency of heat engine cannot be 1, it can be less than 1, but it cannot be 1. From this we get to know limit of efficiency of heat engine. We get to know efficiency limit for heat engine can be 0 to 1. It cannot be equal to 0 or it cannot be equal to 1. Why it cannot be equal to 0? Because if efficiency becomes 0, then W is 0, and if W is 0, then it is not basically engine, because engine is that device which produces work. So this Kelvin-Planck statement related to heat engine. Now what can be the minimum number of thermal reservoir? Because if I want to produce a heat engine, what should be the minimum number of thermal reservoir? The answer is 2, that is source and sink. You need to have sink also where you reject the heat. And what is the maximum number of reservoir? There is no such limits of reservoir. You can have any number of reservoirs, but minimum is 2. You cannot have one thermal reservoir, and that is Kelvin-Planck statement. Now let me tell you another statement, that is Clausius statement. The Clausius statement is for heat pump. Heat pump and refrigerator collectively called as heat pump. Now what is the statement for heat pump or refrigerator is, and also let me tell you, heat engine is that device which produces work from heat, and pump is that device in which work input and heat is made to transfer from low temperature body to high temperature body. So W goes to Q in heat pump and Q goes to W in heat engine. Now suppose I give you heat pump and here work is input and this is Q2 and Q1. As you can understand, this is nothing but reverse of heat engine. So what is happening here? I am taking Q2 from low temperature reservoir and I am investing work W and giving Q2 to high temperature reservoir. If you reduce work, if you make W 0, then heat will from low temperature reservoir to high temperature reservoir and temperature T1 is greater than T2. This is actually typical heat pump. Now what is Clausius statement? Clausius statement says you cannot have a heat pump in which the heat is transferred from low temperature body to high temperature body without investing any work from outside. So you cannot have that particular heat pump. Now heat pump are of 2 types. One is heat pump only, other is refrigerator. So what is the COP of refrigerator? Suppose this is a room and this room is at 25 degrees Celsius and ambience is 40 degrees Celsius. And outside is also 40 degrees Celsius. So heat is going to flow ambience to the room. Unless until I reject this heat Q2 outside, room temperature will not be maintained at temperature 25 degrees Celsius. So I need to reject this heat continuously. So this heat which I want to reject is Q2 divided by what work input which I invest, that is define the coefficient of performance of refrigerator. Let's say the room I want to maintain 25 degrees Celsius but outside temperature is minus 10 degrees Celsius. So what is going to happen is heat is going to flow from this room unless until I give heat to the room, temperature will not maintain 25 degrees Celsius. So in this case for pump, Q is something I am interested in. So COP for heat pump is Q1 over work which I given. In these two formulas you observe something. COP of heat pump is equal to 1 plus COP of refrigerator. In Clausius state you cannot have heat pump in which W is 0. What will happen if W is 0? If W is 0, this COP will approach infinity. But Clausius says it cannot be there. Hence interpretation of Clausius is you cannot have heat pump or refrigerator whose efficiency is infinity. And suppose if I ask you what can be the maximum COP of heat pump, you say it is anything, any big number except infinity. And who said that? You will say Clausius said that. And what can be the maximum value of efficiency of engine? Anything, but it cannot be 1. Who said that? That is Kelvin-Planck statement. So Kelvin-Planck statement related to engine and Clausius statement related to heat pump or refrigerator. So Kelvin-Planck said efficiency of any number but not 1 less than 1. And Clausius said it can be any number, but it has to be less than infinity. So the range of COP for refrigerator is 0 to infinity and range of COP for heat pump is 1 to infinity. And range of efficiency for engine is 0 to 1. Next is third law. Third law states that entropy of perfect crystal at temperature of 0 Kelvin is 0. Entropy is measured of disorder or randomness in closed system. At temperature of 0 Kelvin, the system does not contain any heat. All atoms and molecules in system are at their lowest energy point. As per third law, entropy of such system is exactly 0. Because temperature of absolute 0 is physically unattainable, the third law may be restated to apply to real world as entropy of perfect crystal approaches 0 as its temperature approaches absolute 0. We can extrapolate from experiment data that entropy of perfect crystal reaches 0 of absolute 0, but we can never demonstrate this empirically. The concept of absolute 0 is critical for calculation involving temperature and entropy. On first reading, third law seems simple. However, it serves an final period at end of long story that fully describes nature of heat